for you to belanja.
You see our EC only buy breads, no? Just because he has opened up this place for us to use. This one should be taken at empty mama, so everybody haven't eat dinner is the correct one. Okay, welcome to today's talk. Today's talk will be actually highlighting on what is Pcynogenol. Okay, so our speaker is actually Elsie Sim. Okay, so let's welcome Elsie Sim for tonight.
Thank you very much. Okay, Pcynogenol. How many people don't know how to pronounce it? Everybody know how to pronounce this word? Wonderful. I took a while to pronounce this, you know. I look at it, you know, at my age, we don't have phonics in school. So when I look at it, I'm just saying PYC. How do you pronounce it? So most probably you are quite lucky because every time you just say Pcynogenol, right? Wow, now sounds French to me in the first place, but now it's like, hey, we have Pcynogenol. And then someone asks you, hey, so what's Pcynogenol? Ah, yeah, it's OPC. What's OPC? Ah, it's Pcynogenol. Well, you're correct. But that's not the only thing. Pcynogenol is a super antioxidant that is in the category of OPC. Alright? So what I have done today is not to do something very, very technical. Charts, data. You come in, you listen to data, charts and all that, you go out totally out of. When you're in from the left, it goes out to the right. Okay? Now, apart from Pcynogenol, if you don't know how to pronounce it, that's fine. Now we know. But the thing is, I want to ask, everybody is having the in thing, antioxidant. Antioxidant, oh, it's an antioxidant. So may I know, what is an antioxidant? Really? Smiling there, what's an antioxidant?
Oh my god.
You're selling, right? Everything also antioxidant. To your clients, hey, antioxidant, super antioxidant.
So far, I still not yet selling any OPC yet. I'm selling calcium and vitamin D only.
You never buy, never sell.
Ah, okay. So who can tell me what's an antioxidant? This word is really an in thing, you know?
Can I try?
Yes, please.
Reverse oxidation.
Ah, good. And Mr. Lim, what's oxidation?
Wow, 真係有啲曲到。Okay, actually, how to say?
Okay, no, I'm not going to test you on it. Okay, so that's why today, my presentation, I am actually going to do the very basic. Now, in fact, the basics are the most difficult because in the first place, we do not know what the basic is. We always start from up top because it sounds good to be always on the top. Just like anything you do, whether you're building a 200-story tall building, your foundation must be good. If you don't have the foundation, at least you need to know what each layer is. So we are going to go back slowly, as simple as I can, because the more you actually read about it, the more you research, the more you would have no idea what it is all about. Because with science, it goes to the basic. When the element is concerned, it goes into emptiness. So, but at least we need to know what the basic is. All right? Why are we talking about Pcynogenol? Purely because it is this product as OPC3. Everybody knows that this is our top selling product. And this is also the product that is the easiest for us to open our conversation. With vitamin, with E-complex, you know, these are quite common. But with OPC3, you can actually only find very good healthcare shops, because this is a very expensive product. Not everybody would have it in their care. In Singapore, Nature Farm, GNC, but if you were to look at it carefully, they will sell Pcynogenol on its own, grapeseed on its own, resveratrol on its own, but nobody would sell it like what we do together. And if you know about supplements, it is no good to take one supplement. It is good to actually have a combination. And what we have done is to have a combination. A lot of time, we are quite given a lot of case, a lot of testimonial. We are able actually to say, oh, it's good for this, oh, it's good for that. But why? Why is it good? We actually have no idea. But if we were to look at it later, as we go along, we will be able to have some good idea that, this is actually more than a super antioxidant. Alright? Now, as we all know, our Isotonix OPC3 is the gold standard for antioxidant. Purely because our basic properties of antioxidant is made out of some of the best antioxidant available on earth. I would say on earth, because these are all natural products. Now we have the bilberry, the grape seed. Well, it's actually the seed and the skin that has this antioxidant properties, all right? And then we have the pineapple extract. And then we also have the citrus bioflavonoid extract. And then we have Pcynogenol. I didn't know about how great OPC is until I went into this research. And then I told myself, my goodness, we actually have something like, the CDC, the miracle of OPC. And I now understand why it's called a miracle supplement. With Pcynogenol, today's featured ingredient, you will realize that there are more than 200 published studies about it. So if anybody were to ask you what is it all about, you have no fear. This is actually one of the highest studied ingredient that is having a lot of published studies on it. All you need to do is to go into the internet and search for it. Alright? And like what Hui Hua have said before in the previous presentation, when we are always telling people about isotonic or Pcynogenol, our Pcynogenol is the only isotonic capable form in the world. Meaning, if you go to Nature Farm, tablet form. If you go to GNC, tablet form. Nobody would have it in the powdered isotonic form. So that is the one up that nobody can say, hey, I have it also. Alright? Again, this is just a rundown, which you most probably already are aware of. It contains antioxidants that protect cells and tissues from damage by free radicals, help maintain our immune health, and also help us to relieve from allergies. And something that is very important to people in Singapore, because of our humid weather, it helps to reduce pain caused by inflammation of arthritis and rheumatism. This is actually very important. As you know, ours is an aging population. A lot of our moms and our dads, and even ourselves, we are already feeling our joint pain, purely because Singapore is very humid. Right? And this is one cause. Now, like what I've just mentioned before, what is OPC? Well, in Singapore, we have your AYE, ECP, and what else? I don't drive. TPE, PIE.
KJE.
Well, okay, what's the new one? Actually, MCE. Okay. If you don't drive, like me, I have no clue what is it about. If you're not Singaporean, you would have no clue. So if you are not in Market America, you have no clue what is this. So when you say, oh, you know, we have OPC. Huh? You mean old person cycling? Yeah. So what is OPC? So who can tell me? You are in Market America, you at least must know what OPC is. Who else? Come, volunteers. Nobody knows what OPC is and you're selling it?
Oligomeric proanthocyanidins.
Good try.
Okay, good try. Let's clap for him. Now, have you ever wondered, after coming into this business, why did the scientists give all this time to stuff? Don't you think so? Astaxanthin, resveratrol, these are really difficult to pronounce. They must have something that they don't want us lay present to know about. You know, if not, they wouldn't be making life so difficult for people who wants to know more about this. So OPC is oligometric proanthocyanidins. Oligometric. Merit. You see, I pronounce it wrongly too.
You purposely did it.
Okay, so at least know what it is. At least even if you have to pronounce it slowly, still at least know how to pronounce it. Alright? Now, what is it? What is OPC? It is actually a set of bioflavonoid complexes that perform as free radical scavengers in the human body. Alright? Again, I actually mark what is bioflavonoid. And we'll look at the next slide and we'll try to find out what it's all about. OPC are found in many plants throughout the plant kingdom with varying degrees of concentration. OPC is a natural compound present in most fruits, vegetables, and in particularly plant bark, skin, and seeds. It is not usually found in our daily diet in quantities approaching therapeutic level, and the amount present in raw food is often destroyed during cooking. So, you know, to get OPC, it is not that easy actually. So what is bioflavonoids? You know, they say that it's one set of bioflavonoids. Well, it used to be called vitamin P. A lot of us don't even know that there is a vitamin P, at least I don't, you know. But it used to be called vitamin P, and it's useful in the treatment and prevention of many health conditions. Surprisingly, there are more than 4,000 compounds that have already been characterized and classified. And out of all this, they are all used for treatment in the prevention of different health conditions. If you're looking at what bioflavonoid is, it's actually the color of the plant, the orange color of your fruit, the green of your vegetables, all right, the orange of your carrots, the yellow of your lemons. This is what it is. Okay. They actually have 4 categories. Today we are focusing on OPC, all right? And for our OPC3, in fact, the citrus bioflavonoid is also in there. So it's not only OPC3, there is one other bioflavonoid that is in our product, the OPC3. And like always, we've got bioflavonoid. We actually have it as something that will help in combating allergies, viruses, and how do you pronounce this? Carcinogens. And what is carcinogens? Cancer-causing elements. All right. So all these are actually available in nature. It's just that it's only now that people are starting to know about it, And it's only now that company like ours are making the good of nature's products or nature's value back for us to use. The benefit of OPC, we know a lot about it because we have heard so many testimonials about it. And here we have the cardiovascular, looking after your heart, all right? Your bad cholesterol, lowering it, clogging of the blood cells. We don't even know that actually some of our blood cells clog so badly, all right? That's why, you know, when your blood cells clog very badly, you actually feel tired. You're always tired. You sleep for 12 hours and you wake up even more tired. It could actually be because of the clogging of your blood. And then we have also collagen repair, reducing of edema, which is actually water retention, swelling and water retention, inflammation. And then we also have it helping, diabetic who, we know about them going blind. All right? The OPC actually helped them to maintain, if not reduce, the possibility of going blind. And then for sure, the improvement of our skin health. Now, just now we were talking about oxidant and antioxidant. Very simply, we see it every day in our life. Just like an apple, when oxidization happens, it goes brown. So it's not only with an apple, in our body, our organs do oxidize too. So just that we don't see it, sometimes we don't care. But that doesn't mean we should not know about it and reverse it to health. An antioxidant is a molecule that inhibits the oxidization of other molecules. All right? So, anti is always trying to counter. So, what is oxidization? Oxidization is a chemical reaction that transfers electrons and hydrogen from a substance to an oxidizing agent. Oxidization reactions can produce free radicals. Now, it's a bit of an ironic, all right? Oxidization is actually a natural process in nature. You can't run away from it. To survive, you need oxygen. And when you have oxygen, there is oxidization.
Oxidation.
Huh?
Oxidation.
Oxidation. Okay. All right. So the example is the browning of an apple or the rusting of steel. A lot of times, don't you ever feel, whenever you walk past an unfinished building and you look at the steel panels and it's all rusty, I always have the feeling, is it going to collapse? But most probably it won't, but the rust is still there, all right? So within our body, actually, a lot of things happen. It's just that, we don't know about it. And all we know is we need oxygen. Yes, we do. But unfortunately, the same life-giving oxygen can generate the harmful side effects. And then causing our cells damage and leads to chronic diseases. So when I read this, it got me wondering, you don't remember when Michael Jackson was alive and then he has oxygen, loads of oxygen? I wonder what it would do. It's like too much oxygen. Does it do a reverse or does it really make you look younger? So that one, I don't know. It's not here anymore, so nobody can tell us. Now, with free radical produced by the breakdown of oxidation attacks healthy cells, usually our DNA, the proteins, and the fats that is within us. So very simply, if you look at the diagram, it's not only internal when we breathe in, breathe out. Even the sunlight which we always say the sun is very good, our sunlight is good, we give her vitamin D, but the same sunlight actually also causes oxidation. And what about pollution? That's why you see in China it's so bad that everybody is falling sick. Not only that, if our neighboring countries were to, burn their fields and all that, and we get it, this actually would have caused us to have a breakdown and our cells being affected. And what does free radical do? Like what we know, it causes cancer, aging, heart attack, diabetes, and many, many more ill effects. All right, we can't help it. We are not going to say no, but that is something that we cannot avoid it. So we would try to see what can help us to counter, at least reduce. All right. So as we know, with this, it weakens our immune system, and therefore it speeds up aging, cause things like cataract, cancer, heart problems, arthritis, diabetes, and hypertension. Which, when you look at this, isn't this very common? Nearly everybody you know, whether it's a relative on the right or a relative on the left, a friend in front of you, a neighbor behind you, somebody has something like that. Even ourselves. All right? So because of all these ill effects, we would actually have to look at what antioxidant can help us, which is actually available in our very friendly fruits. But even now, a lot of people don't take a lot of fruits. Does everybody eat fruits every day? No, right? You're lucky few. But the truth is, I don't too. A lot of us are guilty of not taking enough fruits. Right? Okay? So fruits, especially colorful fruits, are very important to our health. So now let's go back to our original topic. What is Pcynogenol? It's a grape Pcynogenol. Okay? It's like grape leafy powder. Pcynogenol is a patented formulation of a unique natural plant extract that originates from the bark of the maritime pine tree grown in southwestern France. Alright? So it's a registered name. That's why you see Pcynogenol always come with a registered logo. Scientific research demonstrates that Pcynogenol provides a multitude of health benefits. It helps our heart and circulation, skin care, joints, the ear, Capricorn is the eye, and then maybe Scorpion is the knee, whatever, all right? And he actually taught about it and said, all the physicians must follow this ruling. If that wound is in that sector, don't ever operate on that sector. When I read this, it was very interesting because sometimes you hear when people are so seriously ill that you think it's a touch and go case and they survive. But at the same time, when you have somebody who's like, nothing urgent, it's minor surgery, and they don't. When something like that happens, I always think about the little story that I read, that he actually said they must follow. And I'm quite certain modern doctors have no inkling of this teaching of his. Now, how did Pcynogenol come about? Well, as the story goes, the French explorer Jacques Cartier found his ship stranded in the dead of winter in 1535, and his crew were all starting to suffer from scurvy. And a friendly Quebec Indian suggested a tea made from pine bark, and miraculously, after drinking it, he recovered. So, all the way to 1960, another Jacques guy, okay? Oh, sorry. this time he actually went and searched for the writing, for Cartier's writing, and actually found the plant that helped him, help his sailors recover, and actually found that it is the pine bark, and patented it under the name of Pcynogenol. So that's how Pcynogenol come about. Now let's look at the 4 basic active properties that make Pcynogenol the nature's super antioxidant. These 4 basic properties don't work alone. They work together because it's part and parcel of what Pcynogenol is all about. So it's synergized. It's synergized when we consume it, it's synergized in our body and make us well accordingly. Alright. Firstly, as we all know, it is a powerful antioxidant. Secondly, it's a natural anti-inflammatory. 3, selectively binds to collagen and elastin. And 4, support production of vascular mediator nitric oxide. So these are the 4 basics that they have. And every time you consume a Pcynogenol, this 4 basic works. And wherever you are in pain or wherever you are not a little off balance, this is why you're saying, hey, how can Pcynogenol help this illness and help that illness? Purely because they are all there. And then whatever unbalance that we are facing, whatever disease we are facing, it is actually the cause of either one of the 4. So, does everybody understand so far? Okay. Now let's go into the different major issues that we all have. Our major organs for the start, our heart health. The heart, as we know, is the most important muscle. And Pcynogenol has been shown to improve cardiovascular function in several profoundly important ways. In terms of circulation of the blood. You know, a lot of times you always hear of people feeling tired. Sometimes it's purely because of lack of circulation, caused by stress, caused by aging, bad diet, and lack of exercise. So Pcynogenol will help to maintain healthy circulation by increasing the movement of the blood vessels. Consequently, when the blood vessels move smoothly, all the nutrients that are supposed to be flowing to different parts of the body are allowed to do so. So we sometimes call it the lubricant. You know, when you have a car, you need lubricant to make sure your car runs smoothly. Even in our blood, we need lubricant to help run smoothly. And who can do it is actually Pcynogenol. Here is a study on the improvement in circulation in the cardiovascular risk factors with the proprietary Isotonix bioflavonoid formula OPC3. So it's specifically targeted on our OPC3. So you see, there are many studies. It's not just hearsay. 61 subjects with signs of metabolic syndrome, high blood pressure. HDL is actually the good cholesterol. Low good cholesterol, high total cholesterol. So when you have a low good cholesterol but a high cholesterol, that means you have a lot of bad cholesterol, right? Because you have the good and the bad, right? And then in terms of a fasting glucose, it's pretty high. So after taking Pcynogenol and our OPC3, significantly lowering the oxidative stress, lower blood glucose, lower LDL is the bad cholesterol, and total cholesterol. It lowers it, But at the same time, it increases the good cholesterol that is necessary. And significantly lowering CRP level. Is that blood pressure?
No,
What
that's
is that?
inflammation factor.
Inflammation factor. Yeah, okay. That's why I asked Hui Hua to definitely have to be here, because there will be things that she would be able to help us understand better. So the blood microcirculation in the skin is also improved. So your skin looks much better, more radiant, rather than a tired looking skin. Alright. Also with heart health, supports healthy blood pressure. Now this, my own experience is, a lot of times, a lot of people would tell us that, oh, genetically, you know, blood pressure, especially if your parents, your sibling have high blood pressure, that you would definitely have it. So it came to a stage whereby, at a certain age, when my blood pressure couldn't go down, about 2 years ago, the doctor said, hey, Elsie, because of your family history, I think you better start on drugs that will help me to reduce my blood pressure. Well, somehow my body just told me, no, that is not the way. And I was lucky enough to actually, at that moment, just got introduced to OPC. And a friend of mine, who actually got introduced to OPC in Sydney 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago before me, actually tried this, but he somehow did not join MA. And when I asked him, I said, hey, so, fine. If you don't want to join MA, fine. Tell me something. What is it in that range of products that benefited you? And my friend said, OPC3. And I said, what did it do to you? Lower my blood pressure. But he's not taking OPC3 now. I said, why? Because he believed in his Western doctor, and they put him on warfarin. So sometimes it is sad that you get introduced to something because you didn't have enough faith about supplements. Because we are taught to have faith in the Western medicine that actually you reverse. So when I heard that, I went and took OPC. And till today, my blood pressure is normal. I am not needing any drugs, not needing to start on any drugs, and not needing to have the fear that I would have to be dependent on the drugs forever. Because I saw how drugs for high blood pressure has actually caused my dad's kidney to fail. So, you know, you would really try not to take Western medicine as far as you can, or at least, if not, then as little as you can. Do not be, I would rather we take fruits than to take drugs for breakfast. So you see, with Pcynogenol, it helps someone with high blood to reduce their medicine from 4 to 2 to 3 and even to 2. So isn't that good? Cholesterol. This can be a silent killer. The way we eat char kway teow, fried ngoh hiang, and for yourself, your curries with coconut milk. Actually, coconut milk is not bad, but you know, we all have. The more unhealthy it is, the more delicious it is. And the thing is, we will always get somebody, it's okay, only long one time. And when you ask them, when is your long one time? Oh, last week. Every week is long one time, huh? Okay? So, high cholesterol, Lipitor at one time, right? And then they tell you Lipitor is no good. And then they give you something else. And then 10 years later, when something is damaged already, they tell you, oh, that one is not good also. Pcynogenol helps. Again, nature. Alright? And actually Pcynogenol plus our omega-3 works wonder for cholesterol maintenance. Pcynogenol lowers the bad cholesterol. As you can see, the placebo drugs, they still continue to go up, but with Pcynogenol, it goes down. OPC for healthy cells. Okay. This is test on mice, so you can always tell with Pcynogenol, there's always a significant decrease when it's meant to decrease, increase when it's meant to increase. That is what nature does. Okay? Because nature is intelligent. Even if it is a plant, they know when they need to increase something to boost your energy, or when they need to reduce something to reduce a problem that caused the disease. Young mice, old mice, after Pcynogenol, wow. Also an improvement. These are some of the studies taken on cancer risk, and you can tell that every single study, whether it's from Long Island, or in Italy, or in Shanghai, of different types of cancer, all of them shows that the risk is lower. So these are all independent studies from different countries. Showing the aging process with OPC. Skin health. I think this is very important because this is external. The ladies, we are afraid of it, for sure. But even though the men say, I don't care, I don't think so. They care too, because we like to look at youthful looking things. So as you know, our skin is the very first line of defense against the daily regions of life. And the thing is, actually our skin is the biggest organ. Much as we actually don't realize that our skin is an organ, but it's actually the biggest organ in our body. So exposure would therefore be even more. Alright, sun exposure, whether it's the ozone layer or whatever is happening up there, we can tell that the sun is really much more warm, brighter. The ultraviolet light is affecting your skin more. Okay? And we sometimes get sunburned more. Right? For those of you who are working under the sun, do take care. Do have your sun screen. And for our ladies, take your umbrella. And I think we should, in Singapore in fact, should learn how to wear the hat. Sometimes, you know, it's so hot and we just go out and expose ourselves. Right? And this would actually cause aging. So with Pcynogenol, it helps protect skin from sun damage, and therefore allow us to stop the aging process, or at least slow down the aging process. Okay. Hyperpigmentation, before treatment, after treatment, marked difference, marked improvement. Again, for skin elasticity, the baseline, 6 weeks after treatment, increase. Okay, you've heard quite a bit from me. Let's have a little break. I'll play a video. Jenny, do I just get this? I'll play this video for you. Very clearly demonstrate what Pcynogenol can do. It is one of Dr. O's programs. No, thank you. Any question when we try to get this up for you? Any question till now? At that time was about 140, 75. At that point whereby the doctor said, hey, Elsie, about that.
I was really excited. It shows that it also has amazing skin smoothing and plumping properties. So it smooths your skin, plumps it a little, makes the wrinkles a little finer, and you take it 3 times a day, 25 milligrams, and it works.
So I found an expert who studies this and actually uses it in her practice. Dr. Elise is working with us tonight. So as you use it in your patients, how do you explain it to them?
Well, exactly. Well, Pcynogenol is a wonderful combination of bioflavonoids that promotes antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. It actually tells cells to double its antioxidant power. So it's truly incredible. And exactly as you were saying, the studies show its wonderful benefits in skincare as amongst other health internal benefits. So how it works, it actually increases an enzyme that generates more hyaluronic acid by a whopping 44%. So it's incredible. And what hyaluronic acid does, it actually makes our skin hydrated, it smooths out those wrinkles, and makes us finer, smoother skin lines, exactly as you were saying.
So Rosemary, how many weeks do women have to use it for see a better?
About 12 weeks, they say, but for the study, before you begin to see a benefit. And then, I mean, look, this woman is so beautiful.
We're going to work together to show you why we think this is so impactful, why we think Pcynogenol can help you look 7 years younger. Normally your skin, when you're young, looks like this. And the reason it looks like this is because it actually, beneath the surface, has a lot of water. It's very hydrated. And that water is held in place by some unique cells. Now, as we age, for a variety of reasons, we begin to lose the water out of some of those cells. And so, Rosemary, we might able. Oh,
No purple gloves for me.
no, not for you. Expertly squeezed. And there's some more. And these, of course, once they're devoid of water, the skin begins to sag in the remaining crevices. So you have a skin appearance which no longer reflects like the normal way. It's not what you want to have. This is what aging looks like to a scientist studying your skin. Pine bark supplements stimulate the cells that have been devoid of water to once again suck onto the water. And I'll demonstrate that by showing, once you take the Pcynogenol, again this pine bark, and pour it on these cells, they begin to plump up. Cells that had once been devoid of water can, over a 12-week period that Rosemary highlighted to us, once again begin to suck down the amount of water they desire. So the Pcynogenol allows these cells beneath the surface of the skin to soak up the water, and as they do that, they plump up. They begin to look the way they did when you're younger, and your skin looks like this again, which is again what we all want. Less wrinkles, it has that reflection of life, it has that glow we desire, and again, it's because of a very simple phenomenon happening just beneath the level of the skin. So Pina, any side effects from taking this?
Absolutely not. The wonderful thing about Pcynogenol, there are 0 side effects. So you can take it with any herbal supplement, any vitamin, and actually the research shows that people can take this even at higher dose for long periods of time with no interactions. Some studies show that some people may get some gastric upset, some dizziness, some headache, but those are not common at all. There was actually even one study that a pregnant woman took Pcynogenol for pain during pregnancy, which again just reinforces how safe it is.
And Rosemary mentioned the dosing to us, but you say there's also a cream version.
Absolutely. So different creams will come with Pcynogenol in it, which has that pine bark. So you can apply it in morning, at night, dime size. But just like you said earlier today, that of course beautiful skin comes from the inside out. So you want to look at what you're eating, how you're cooking, all those wonderful things to enhance your skin.
Okay, so that. So that's about Pcynogenol, how it helps the skin goes back to its use. Can you hear? How it helps the skin to go back to its beautiful nature. It's not working. It's not working. It's not working. Okay, doesn't matter. I think you all can hear me, right? Yeah, right. So I don't need the mic actually. Okay. I need to get it back to the slides when John joins. John. Now we'll look at joint health next. Well, this is quite common in Singapore, don't you think so? I mean, more and more we are seeing people in wheelchair, if not the old folks. In fact, some younger people are already needing the help of the walking stick or actually the wheelchair, purely because a lot of us don't look after our joints. We don't think way. And so we sometimes abuse it more than we should. So joint health. Joint health is not just your knees, the elbows, even the fingers. As long as anywhere that has a movement that is joint, you can see that joint is actually very small.
So as we age, our joint will wear out and may become stiff as the natural yet unavoidable process. Pcynogenol has been investigated in a series of studies showing considerable relief from distress and stiffness. Individuals taking Pcynogenol for healthy joints, were able to walk longer distance, and their quality of life improved, for allowing them to engage in social life again. So as you can see, the studies of 156 arthritis patients with Pcynogenol, the extreme pain that they were feeling is being reduced quite a fair bit. And also the stiffness. This actually is wonderful. Because when you can walk, you don't realize what not walking is all about. I mean, it's a bit sad because where I'm staying, even my mom, and she's in her 80s, and so her friends are all in their 80s, and so you witness it. And sometimes, when I bring my mom out, I will always ask her to be in a wheelchair. Not that she can't walk, she can do it at home, but when we go out, wheelchair. I say, this is your Mercedes Benz. You take it, you go everywhere you want to go. You don't, without the wheelchair, you can't go. But the thing is, I have friends who are proud. They can't walk well, so they still struggle. And the children will say, never mind, I will just hold her hand. It's not the same. It's actually quite a lot of suffering. Our 5 steps from here to there, you don't even think about how it moves. But for the old folks, it is painful 5 steps. So do remember, our parents are always proud. They will always tell you, no, it's okay, I can walk, because they are shy. They don't want to be seen in a wheelchair. Please do remember that they're walking. Sometimes when we walk, we have to walk back. So that's 10, 20. So in order not to let them suffer so much, if they are healthy, they are not on warfarin, on blood thinning drugs, then let them have OPC. Let them have a try. All right? Because a lot of people don't realize aging is actually not that easy at all. All right? So here again, arthritis patient, walk slightly further than the drugs that they put in place, the placebo drugs. All right? So in conclusion, Pcynogenol provide potent anti-inflammatory activity, stop the cartilage from degenerating, help to lessen pain, and restore mobility. And also, with glucosamine, when we have glucosamine and Pcynogenol, it really helps to rebuild the cartilage. A lot of ladies, especially the ladies, all right, when the ladies menopause, that problem comes up very often because the cartilage will be reduced, and that's why you can see a lot of older ladies with bow leg and all that. So let's not wait until, if we are lucky to be living at an old age, let's not wait until then when we are in pain. When we are actually, even at 25, we should start looking at supplements. Because in life, which is quite strange, from childbirth to 25, everything moves in an upper speed. But after 25, not after 30, not after 40, but only after 25, everything, your cell move downwards. So don't be mistaken. If you have a young child or your young daughter, young son who is 25, 26, start them on it. On supplement, that is. Okay? Next, we have blood glucose. Diabetes. They use the word epidemic. So every one other person you know have somebody in their family that has got diabetes. It cannot be all because of genetics. It has got to do with the way we eat, our lifestyle. A lot of times people tell you, oh, it's genes, it's genetics. It's not. It is lifestyle. Let's say the family, the dad loves sweet things, the mom loves cakes. What do you feed your children? Your sweets, your cakes. They don't know anything better but to follow what the parents are eating. And most probably, the parents didn't know any better because the grandparents are eating those food. So is it really totally genetic, or is actually a way of life that you don't even know is a way of life because you grew up that way? So, have to think about it. These are actually things that we can actually help with good diet, and with Pcynogenol, it will assist us in elevating the symptoms of blood glucose. In diabetes, very importantly, is always we want to at least maintain. So Pcynogenol helps to normalize blood sugar level by slowing down the activity of an enzyme in the small intestine, which breaks down starchy, carbohydrate-rich food. Pcynogenol slows absorption of carbohydrate and consequently lowers the glucose load of the bloodstream. So, Asian, we eat a lot of rice, but rice is actually pretty potent for people with diabetes. So again, you can see that Pcynogenol helps in lowering blood sugar. Okay. Whether it's fasting blood glucose or otherwise, both instances, it helps to lower. And because it helps to lower diabetes, help to lower high blood pressure, it actually helps to go easy on the kidney. Right? A lot of patients, as you see, especially old folks. My dad had to do peritoneal dialysis at home. All right? And I know about this. It is because of his long-term high blood pressure. He didn't have diabetes, but when he was alive, it is the high blood pressure that caused his kidney to fail. So with OPC, as we know, it will lower blood sugar, lower blood pressure, increase blood circulation, lower the bad cholesterol, increase the good cholesterol, and in kidney function, help it to be less loaded. And also, for those who may be getting blind because of diabetes, it will help at least to reverse or slow down. So now we look at the eye health, and again, it has got to be linked with diabetes. All right. So more than half the people suffering from diabetes may eventually develop renin. Okay, Hui Hua, another tongue twister. Retinopathy. Is that how you pronounce it? Is that the right way? Yeah? Okay. An eye disease caused by the capillaries leaking blood into the retina, leading to gradual vision loss. So the 5 clinical studies of over 1,000 patients demonstrated that Pcynogenol strengthened the retinal capillaries and preserved the eyesight. So why not? If you have someone who is in need, don't wait until they are going blind. Just get them on OPC. And recent studies on Pcynogenol and a proprietary bilberry extract, again, one of the items in our OPC tree, shows that the ingredient combination normalizes intraocular pressure, which significantly reduces the likelihood of developing leukemia. So it helps to prevent cataract. Okay. It's basically improvement. Even if it doesn't improve, it maintains and help the patient not to go blind. I think that's helpful. Here they say it helps to restore vision. Next, we have sports nutrition. You know, a lot of runners actually they run for health. Actually, it can be dangerous. All right, it's not excessive running or excessive sports. It's actually dangerous to a certain extent. Physical exercise increases the body's need for oxygen. Research indicates Pcynogenol may play an important role with physical activity because it is shown to aid the body in producing nitric oxide, thus enhancing blood microcirculation and improving blood flow to the muscles. This helps the body achieve peak muscle performance and speeds recovery after exercise, which may result in reduction of muscular aches in both athletes and healthy individuals. So, Pcynogenol will help actually to get rid of the oxidization, because the more you run, you need more oxygen, you breathe in more. Actually, there's more oxidization. But you tell that to a sports person, they don't hear you because they don't know. They thought, hey, I'm doing sports. So I think it might help if you can show this angle to friends who are, you know, marathon runners that, yeah, as they run, have the OPC to help them. And for those of us who travel a lot, long distance on the plane, or our friends who maybe stewardess and all that, I think the OPC would also help them. Why? Because of swelling. You know, you've heard not too long ago that somebody actually dies due to sitting too long in the plane. Okay, because of the swelling. So here, actually, because of the swelling and because blood clot. Alright? So they are advising what you can do is 2 to 3 hours before departure, you take your OPC. Take your OPC again 6 hours later during the flight, and take OPC again next day at the destination. That will actually help the smoothing of your blood vessel. Remember I was talking about how it lubricates the blood? This is what it is. Now, we'll talk about a little bit about women's health. I think this is very important. Half the population of the world, women. Half the population, men. But the one problem that really get everybody real upset sometimes is with reproductive systems. So the ladies, we have our premenstrual syndrome that make us cranky sometimes. Alright? Can't help it. Monthly. Okay? Or some of us have real painful cramps. Whether you are young, you're old, it does happen. And usually you take MC and then you say, oh, I'm having a headache. Right? I mean, I don't know the ladies sometimes, you know, because it doesn't sound professional, but it's not, nothing to do with professionalism. It's got to do, when you're in pain, you're in pain. So a lot of ladies, I guess, you know, if you're in you're in HR in the company, you will always hear about headache, but you never hear about menstrual pain. But that's very real, all right? So again, Pcynogenol helps with relieving menstrual pain. The response, only 27 out of the group says no significant response, no significant help. But then, compared to the others that have some help, that shows that Pcynogenol is something that the ladies may need on a daily basis. Just imagine who all you distributors, you have a lot of friends who may need this. Do recommend, and not because we want to sell them, but at least to relieve their pain. Alright? Alright. Here, again, studies. And then menopause. A lot of us who comes into this business will be at the age because we now know the goodness of supplement. So again, we will also have friends, maybe your wife, maybe, the mother and all that. Yeah, get them to be on OPC. Well, if we talk about the women, we must also talk about the men, right? I mean, there's nothing to be embarrassed about because this is nature, this is life, all right? The guys will not talk about it. They will swear not to talk about it. But that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. So if you know of somebody who is trying to have a child, but, you don't have to tell them, hey, maybe your problem is this. Why don't you just try OPC? Well, you see, remember Stephen was telling us how after 11 years, after his first child, and after 11 years, and when they were introduced to OPC, and in a short time, he had his second child. Well, all right. So, why not? I mean, it's just a drink. All right. On top of that, actually, I did a little bit of research. It also helped hay fever, asthma, ADHD. And it also helps in protecting the DNA from oxidative damage, which is actually important. The DNA will go generations and after generation. Now, the food that we eat, a lot of them are actually genetically modified. And so, keep well every day. And to sum it all, I actually put the question and answer that you might be asked. Okay? Well, if they don't ask you and trust you, fine, good, But sometimes people do ask, how safe is Pcynogenol? Pcynogenol is one of the most well-researched food supplements in the world and has passed extensive safety tests. So, toxicity results have demonstrated that Pcynogenol is safe even at high dosage for a long period of time, if you ask that question. What are the benefits? Are the benefits of Pcynogenol supported by science? Yes, again. For over 40 years, Pcynogenol has proven safe and effective with more than 200 research studies and peer reviews. And approximately 7,000 patients have been studied in 80 clinical studies on Pcynogenol. So that would actually show how safe Pcynogenol is. Why feel any real differences when I take Pcynogenol? Well, if you take it for 1 week, you see, no difference. Sure. At least you have to take it for 1 month. Alright? There's no miracle. Just at least a month. Because it's an unmatched antioxidant that will definitely help in the overall health. So the only thing you have to advise your customer not to think that it's a miracle. Do take it at least for a month. the fact that for 30, 40 years, you have not looked after your body, you don't expect something to go in and then immediately spring clean, right? Yeah. How much should I take and for how long? So there they actually tell you about the 1 mg per kilo. So it's about one serving for every 45 kilos. One serving for every 45 kilos. But that's just general that you have no illness. But those of us with some slight illness here and there, we may have to up the dosage. Should I take Pcynogenol instead of vitamins? No, nothing can be taken alone. Huh? Vitamins are still important for your health, and Pcynogenol recycles and spare vitamin C and E so that they act longer while in your body. In fact, it improves the vitamins effectiveness. Where can I buy Pcynogenol? That's an easy question, isn't it? You can purchase it from your friendly Market America or Market Singapore Unfranchise business owner. I changed this myself because this is what we want, right? And I need Danny to help me again. This is a very interesting video. This is my last slide, okay? About Pcynogenol. It's about 20 years old. This is about 20 years old. It's in sort of like black and white. But I thought this is actually one of the best video that I can find in the YouTube.
No, not that. No, you must, sorry, it must be the artificial shock sample. Sorry.
Now, as promised, you're going to see some conclusive proof. In fact, you're going to see something most people have never seen before. Through the use of a dark field microscope and video technology, it is now possible to see live blood samples, display them on a monitor, record them on tape, and visually document the possible effects of Pcynogenol's anti-digestive enzymes. To start out with, I want to show you what normal healthy blood cells look like so that you can identify the unhealthy blood samples you are about to see. This microscopic sample of healthy living blood shows the red blood cells to be round, evenly shaped, and freely floating in plasma. There are no signs of clotting, bacteria, foreign matter, fungal, or stress. This is the kind of blood a healthy person should have flowing through their circulatory system. This is Dana's blood before she started taking Pcynogenol. Here you see free radical damaged red blood cells. They have small holes that will eat away and are spiked. In this condition, there is a severe restriction in the amount of oxygen and nutrients that the cell can take in and carry to her capillaries and tissues. Free radical damage weakens the cells, allowing microorganisms to penetrate the cell wall. Once inside the cell, these organisms contribute to numerous diseases, such as arthritis, pneumonia, and even neurological disorders. In Dana's case, chronic fatigue syndrome.
And I have been to doctor after doctor. Some people don't believe there is such a thing. It's been a very frustrating fight with the physicians, the traditional physicians, on whether chronic fatigue is truly something that a person can have. But I know because I'm so fatigued all the time that this is a reality for me.
Now, believe it or not, this is Dana's blood 30 days after taking Pcynogenol. As you can see, Dana's blood has changed significantly because of Pcynogenol. Her red blood cells are round, separated, they are not clumped together, and are capable of carrying oxygen and nutrients to her tissues.
When I was first introduced to the Pcynogenol, I was very skeptical of what it was supposed to do. But I am so desperate to find something that works that I was willing to try one more time a product that said that it would make me feel better. And I was just absolutely amazed at the results, that it did do exactly what it said and make me feel better. first time in my life that I have felt so good.
Now this is carrier blood. The red blood cells are hooked together in chains. This is called flow. As such, the transportation of oxygen is drastically hindered. This results in a decrease of circulation, which can cause chronic fatigue, poor digestion, and edema. This clumping of cells cannot penetrate Terry's capillaries, which can cause degenerative tissue diseases. The needles in the areas between the cells are liver stress markers.
I had no energy. I was tired all the time. I didn't feel good. I had problems with blood clots. I've been on blood thinners. I had chronic bladder infections, yeast infections. I had problems with my digestion.
Now this is Terry's blood 30 days after taking Pcynogenol digestive enzymes. As you can see, the blood is almost completely normal. The red blood cells are separated, they're round, they're distinct, they're carrying a maximum oxygen and nutrients, and there are no stress lines in the gray area. The little red raspberry-shaped eyes are platelets, and they are normal and separated. Platelets play an important role in the blood coagulation and clot formation. This is a picture of very healthy blood, capable of carrying oxygen and nutrients to her tissues.
It's like I'm a new person. I feel good again. I feel almost like a kid again. I feel well and healthy. So I'm excited.
Massive blood is very, very tight chain or roll of coins. This is a rouleau formation with its maximum extent. Chains are extremely long. There are no single red blood cells. This protein digestion is greatly diminished.
Well, yeah, because I took so many vitamin supplements and things from that, vitamin E, vitamin C, all the other things that you can run into. I took those and didn't seem to get any help from them or feel any different or any better.
30 days after taking Pcynogenol digestive enzymes, massive blood shows that the rouleau formation is totally gone. No more chain, cells are separated, they're much healthier looking. The blood cells are round, they're close to plasma, and the cell walls are strong. Actions just need before this evaluation. Therefore, we get small bits of undigested fats, little chemical particles that are in the inner spaces between the cells. Enzymes will have these particles out of the system within 3 hours after eating.
For 4 days, I had more energy or as much energy as I had after I was 30 years old. It felt so great. I was eating the same thing. Didn't change my diet whatsoever. And I was working all day long what I used to do and not getting tired.
This is a blood sample of another individual. This shows free radical damage to the red blood cell. This individual has chronic fatigue syndrome, able to work only 2 to 3 hours per day, and was technically disabled. 30 days after Pcynogenol, this individual was able to work a normal day of 8 to 10 hours without fatigue, normal energy, and breathing. His blood pressure is normal and steady. Amazing as it may seem, this is live blood. This extreme damage in red blood cells is due to accidental contamination of toxic chemical waste. For 4 years, he was totally disabled, using a wheelchair and suffered severe leg and joint pain. This is a blood of the same person 30 days after taking Pcynogenol. Now leads a normal life, no longer suffering the symptoms of chemical contamination, and has returned to work. This blood is not yet perfect, but just seeing the difference between life and death.
I'm very surprised at how well my blood was flowing in the shortest of time. That was amazing things. It only took 10 or 12 days in order for my blood to make a good turnaround. And another couple of weeks behind that before I started going. That doesn't do anything but clean the blood. It gives me the energy and heals my body and I heal myself.
Like I told you, this group is positive. You've seen it for yourself. And if we had time to show you more, there are literally stacks of videotapes and photographs, all documenting the results of chest instruments. Let's face it, free radicals and enzyme deficiency are here to stay. But now, since your body's a healer, you know how to protect yourself in a more powerful way.
Okay, that's the end of my presentation. So thanks for listening. Any question? Yes.
Mentioned about patients that is taking warfarin,
Oh.
shouldn't take marginal.
Mm.
About other blood thinning medicine.
As long as blood thinning, even warfarin, aspirin, we won't advise, or at least we get them to check with their physician. Because OPC in its own is actually blood thinning. So you don't really want them to have double blood thinning because it will cause them internal bleeding, which is even more serious. Alright, so be very careful with this aspect. I think it's not only our OPC. A lot of our products actually indicate as a warning behind that. As long as you are having blood thinning drugs, don't take. Because warfarin is the most commonly used blood thinner, and it's actually very powerful. In fact, warfarin on its own actually can thin the blood so much that cause internal bleeding. Again, I know it because my dad, when he was still around, he actually had a case where warfarin caused him to bleed internally, and I actually have to donate my platelets to him. So I'm very careful about this aspect. Much as I want to introduce people to OPC, I always ask. But one thing I would really suggest is, sometimes when you ask your customer, they may not even know. So just to play safe, if you know this person has been having blood pressure for a long time, okay, ask them to bring that bottle to their physician and check it out first. You don't want to be responsible for something drastic to happen.
But normally, Western physician will not dedicate.
Then I would think it is safer that we totally ask them don't take. I mean, this is how it is.